see who shows up first. I need to wipe this off. I think it's gonna be another one of those ones. Nope, there's Mr. Lopez. Did you get your knife back? Same Mr. Lopez? Virginia, yeah. It's back, right? You got it back? It showed up? It should have been. Your scout went out Friday. You should already have it. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind, Mr. Lopez. I apologize. I completely forgot that because I'm doing it this weekend. This was a this weekend thing. Ah, that's right. I get confused sometimes too. I want to do a video about it. I like this. That's right. We're gonna do a soft tumble. Well, it scared me for a second. I was like, no, wait a second. No, it's on the thing. So yeah. God, this thing is so sharp. It's so thin behind the edge. It is so sharp now. I like these scouts. They are so comfortable. The ergos on them are really, really good. It's a little bit sharp in a couple places. Like it's just got some unfinished stuff. Like it's a little bit sharp in a couple. I mean, but if you're an outdoorsman, you'd want that. Be able to scratch. Ferro rod and stuff. Yeah. That's right. That's going to the shop with me tomorrow. That's why. I was like, wait, did I not send it? I really want to. It's not that super sharp. And I'd have to, now that I've already sharpened it, I really wouldn't want to fucking try and mess with it. Because when I take this apart to do it, I'm going to tape this blade up. And I don't really want to mess with it because it's real sharp. It's not too bad. It's just a little bit. I mean, could I do it? Yes. I mean, but would it really make that much? It actually would probably change your surface finish on the satin. But yeah, I love these. Guthrie, he does some pretty good work. I like these. I like all the Guthrie knives that have come in. Always been really thin behind the edge. Always nice and thin. That's right. That's what it is. I have to pack some stuff up. I could, but there's always a chance that I would, you might scratch that surface finish. It's not that critical. I've got to get this sent off for a sheath. This is going off for a sheath. Matt wants a sheath on this. I do not like this sheath. I don't like it at all. Matt doesn't like it all that much, so we're going to send it off to Matt. Get Matt at Armitage Carry to get a sheath put on it for him. So... I went to Matt's house last night. I hung out with him. He wants a sheath for his Anza. Went to Matt's last night and we built up all his yard furniture. Right? Such a cute puppy. So Matt got a boxer puppy. I've been up for a while, guys. I've sharpened 3 or 4 knives, got a couple things already packed up to go. The only thing I'm gonna do before we go to the county fair today is this. My allergies are fucking killing me. What's up, Zach? Did you see my email? You don't like boxers? Such a sweet dog. So I sent you a screenshot. I actually got a hold of PVK. He's gonna get back with me. He's trying to get all the stuff figured out as to. So, oh, Zoomy. Zoomy, that dog's just all over the place. The he's gonna get me all the tools and stuff put together. I just got to get back with him. It's just nuts. Just nuts. The dog is all over the place, zooming back and forth. And then till we got in the car, and the dog sat up on my lap, put her head down on my elbow, just went right the fuck to sleep. So. Yeah, that dog was all over the yard, taking off, walking off with screws. Like we set the screws down we put his gas fire table together. It's got the fire pit in the middle with the glass, all the glass beads, because you can't have a fire here in San Diego because, oh my God, a spark might catch something else on fire. So it's not like you really can have a wood fire pit. So he's got one of the gas ones. We're putting that together, and he put screws down. The dog would fucking walk off with them and shit. Wait, give me that back. You can't, that's not food, dummy. 14 people, 3 legs. Yeah, it's right, it's fucking horrible. I had more rain than we've had in years. And this place still tries to burn itself down. Coffee done. So all the cardboard and stuff from all Matthew's yard furniture, his fiance Bianca was like, she wanted it cut down and gotten rid of, and Matt and I were like, we had to cut down that much cardboard. There was a huge box, like the size of like some people's pools and stuff. There was a box big enough that all of his furniture came in one big box, right? And we were cutting up all the cardboard that was in there. It was clear full. We cut it all up, and we came to the conclusion is that this is the champ of cardboard cutting. And the thing is, because even when it started to get noticeably dull, because that profile, it just kept slicing cardboard. And so the other nice thing is the finish on it. Like you can't tell. If you wish you could see how much cardboard we cut up. We filled up a 55-gallon trash can, recycle bin, with cardboard. I mean, we were cutting it into strips so we could stick it in there neatly, and it was full. You couldn't put any more cardboard in it. And then I came home and ran that thing on a strop, and it's good stuff on stuff like cardboard. I keep telling you, sis, you send those to me and I will sharpen them for you. Yeah, the green and bronze is a good combo. But yeah, I didn't even really sharpen it. I brought this home, I hit it on my strops, and it's right back. It's not exactly perfect, but it definitely is back to, it's just under. It's just trying to catch hair. And so that's the nice thing about the S30BN being softer, being at the temp, at the hardness and everything that they run it at. Because, like I said, I cut a lot of cardboard yesterday, and all I did was strop it, and it's back. And I'm like, that's pretty good. It probably needs to go right on the stones, but. We cut enough cardboard, this thing got hot. Like I was cutting so much cardboard that I touched the blade and I'm like, holy shit, it's hot. Not like hot, like, oh fuck, I gotta worry about my temper. But it was like hot. You're like, holy shit. It's just cutting cardboard. That's all we were doing. For like, we must have cut cardboard for an hour or two before we even started putting the furniture together. There's Dwayne. I had a Big Buford last night, which if you guys have never been to a Checkers or Rallies, depending on what they've got, They have. I've never had one. My sister kept telling me about this Big Buford thing, but like I'd never been to a Checkers. Never stopped at a Checkers, really. I mean, I had Checkers fries and milkshakes with Matt and Nico at his house. Matt, Nico, and Bridget. We had fries and milkshake from from Checkers. But I'd never had a Big Buford. I don't know if you guys have never had one, but a Big Buford is what would happen if a Big Mac and a Whopper had unprotected sex. That's their offspring would be a fucking Big Buford. It was probably the best burger I've had in a very long time. Pros and cons. It's it's without Big Mac. It's fucking delicious. It's like the best burger I've had in forever. Like it literally ate so much. So this was my sister's. Yeah, maybe you're. Yeah, you might be a little closer. That might be a little bit closer. At any rate, it was fucking delicious. I was like, so on my sister's recommendation, I had a I had a Big Buford, a chocolate shake, a cherry Coke, and an apple pie. And I was helping Matt with those. Like, Matt, I'm so full, I'm sick. Like, I don't feel good. I don't feel well. I had too much. I'm so full. And fries. Huge order of fries. I don't eat burgers very often, so like it fucks my guts up. But like, if I had eaten McDonald's last night, I would be suffering right now. But because I didn't have McDonald's, I don't feel bad. Like literally, when I have McDonald's, I get sick as fuck when I eat McDonald's. Like I regret it. Like within a couple hours, or Burger King. A couple hours later, I'm like, oh god, why'd I fucking eat that? Well, because you dummy, you like Whoppers. But every time, but there's a couple places I eat that I don't. Wendy's, Carl's Jr. Um, In and Out doesn't seem to tear my stomach up. It's got to be something with the more processed foods that you get at a McDonald's or a Burger King than you get at like a Wendy's or Arby's. I don't get that fucked up torn up stomach from like In and Out Burger and now Checkers or Rallies. I mean, my wife makes pretty much a strict Chinese or Japanese. Chinese. Woo! I'd get your ass kicked. Japanese diet, and so when I eat, usually if I have McDonald's, I'm fucked up for like my stomach's fucked up for days. I'm like, oh god, why did I have McDonald's? Hardee's, Burger King kill me. Hardee's and Carl's Jr. is the same thing, but out here, like the it's just better. Like the mushroom Swiss burger is way better at a Carl's Jr. than it is at a Hardee's. So I do admit I like a good homemade burger. Um, so yeah, Matt and I put all that stuff together, played with his puppy named Churro. We don't do yakitori too often because you got to do it on the grill, and it's not the same on a gas grill as it is on a fucking hibachi. So if we want yakitori, we just go. There's a place just up the road from here that does yakitori, and they do a really good job of it. And they've got the small little meat on a stick stuff. I like white cheddar. I like white cheddar or smoked monster on a burger. It's so good. But there's some burgers that need Swiss, like a mushroom and Swiss burger. You can't go like there's no other cheese for that. It just amazes me how fucking sharp that just kicked back up. You see, you were up near the Tokyo area, Mr. Lopez. I was spent most of my time down in southern Japan, so I did not like any of the restaurants around Shibuya or any of those places because the flavor profile was completely different of what I had gotten used to in southern Japan, which was a heavier, stronger. Did you just say? It's what mozzarella and Gouda had a filthy sin, baby. All right. My sister, ladies and gentlemen, my sister. It's genetic. I have Old Bay. I put Old Bay on my burgers. So I will. My wife thought I was going to get pissed. My wife thought I was going to get pissed when it happened. So the other day, they went to McDonald's, and I was told. I said, "That's fine. I've got some. I had some like skirt steak style beef that I cut up real thin, and I was like, I'll just make fajitas for myself." And I was like, I didn't have all the stuff, so I went and got the stuff I needed, and so I had about a pound and a half because I was gonna have leftovers. About a pound and a half of fucking beef and a whole onion and coffee in Japan's great. So a whole onion and two red peppers that I had sliced up into things, and I was making fajitas. And the fajita seasoning I had in the packet, I didn't look at it. I mixed it up like you're supposed to and did all the stuff. And when I put it in, have you ever had something that went rancid, a powder, like a seasoning powder, like one of those pre-made packs? You don't realize it until, and I thought it smelled a little off when I was cooking it. And I first bite, I was like, oh, fuck, it was ruined. Just fucking ruined it. It tasted like old paint smells. So I fucking had to throw this shit all away. And then I was like, well, the fuck am I going to eat now? So I had beer. It just like, screw it, I'll just have beer. Fuck. I just went to bed without eating that day. I was like, God damn it. I don't know if I can want anything else. We had, I think, this is not that we hadn't went through stuff. When you buy stuff at the exchange, every once in a while, you'll catch something that has been there forever or got lost or got stuck back and they didn't check a fucking date on it. And a lot of times it's like those packets of stuff. This one, I don't know if it had just, I don't know if it gotten damp or something and then went rancid or what, but it didn't look old, and it was in the box with the other seasoning packets. Like she likes to have me make like burritos, so we have the taco seasoning and stuff like that. And so I'm just thinking that it's one that somehow got mixed in, probably at the store, or had gotten wet and then went rancid. But it was pretty fucking bad. I was like, oh, fuck me. I just ruined an entire fucking. I ruined like fucking $20 worth of fucking food. I didn't have I had the tortillas out. Nice. Having the air cache should make her a little bit more comfortable, Dwayne. 20 people, 11 likes. I just play it and I watch it and it goes 11, 12, 13. So my wife is taking my daughter to acupuncture. Dr. Park, the little Korean guy that does the acupuncture, sweet guy. Actually, they tried to raise his lease, and he basically told him to fuck off. And now he's working out of his house. So my wife and kid are on her way to Dr. Park's house for acupuncture for her leg because she's got some weirdness to her leg. She's like she says it just doesn't feel like she's like it's strong. It just feels weak. She said her leg feels weak, and so I think she has I think she has a minor pinched nerve. Oh yeah, of course I did. That's a silly thing to say. I was in Japan for 13 years. I mean, if there was alcohol, if there was some way to get drunk in Japan, I probably did it. I was turned loose in that country when I was 18 years old when I got there. It turned me loose on that country. They're like, hey, here's Japan. There's a gate. Go have fun. Your ship's not here yet. You got to hang out for a couple weeks. There's the bars. Have at it. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I was 19 by the time I made it to Japan. I just turned 19. No, I was still 18. I was still 18 when I got to Japan. Pretty sure of it. It should have bearings. The sigil should have bearings. Well, I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look and see. That's right. I did spend a lot of time at school before I went to Japan. Fuck. Yeah, about almost a year. So yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I probably was 19 by the time I got there. So that's because I had that 30. I had that 38 weeks of school that turned into like 42, and I had to class up, and I had that big delay because it took a couple months for me to get classed up. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. If I do the math, I was in Great Lakes for almost a year after boot camp. So you're right. I would have been, if not 19, I turned 19 shortly after I got there. So, yep, we're going to the county fair today, guys. So you're probably going to get to see a video about that. We like the county fair. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy that you can get an Asahi beer in almost every vending machine in every park. Actually, you know what? They've kind of cracked down on that. So in Japan, especially the cigarette machines, you have to have a card, and it's just not. You can get your, I think your driver's license may do it now, but there's a card that you cannot buy cigarettes without this card from a machine. You have to have that card, and because it verifies your age, or you can't buy cigarettes at a machine. You got to go to a store and buy them. I remember my buddy Quentin. The last time I went to Japan, Quentin was showing me that. He's like, oh yeah, fucking. He had to go get his wife's card to get a pack of cigarettes because he didn't have one. Because it was hard for him to get one because he was what they call gaikokujin. He's a Japanese. He was a Japanese resident alien. He worked for Docomo. Actually, he worked for NTT. He did fiber optics for NTT, the National Nippon Telecommunications Company. So they changed a lot of stuff. Like it's beer machines. They turn the beer machines off at a certain point. Fucking menthol Lucky Strikes, the charcoal filters. I smoked Japanese mild sevens. It was cheaper, guys, to buy cigarettes from the machine out in town than it was to buy cigarettes on base at one point. And it still wasn't, they weren't that expensive. I mean, we're talking, I remember being able to buy a carton of cigarettes for $10, $1 a pack. And I'd just get a carton of Marlboros. They weren't even 500 yen a pack when I was there. They were 250 yen a pack because we bought mild sevens. I remember this because every morning my wife would give me a 500 yen coin and I would buy 2 packs of mild sevens on my way home from work. So one for me and one for her because we both smoked a pack a day at the time. She didn't smoke a pack a day. I smoked basically 2 packs a day and she got a couple of those cigarettes. I smoked a lot. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. This is the only, I mean, it was one of your vices. I would smoke a pack of cigarettes in a night drinking. You wake up the next day, your lungs hurt. You're like, oh fuck. And you know the only thing that's gonna make it feel better is to light up a cigarette. You're like, oh, that's better. Yeah, 7 egg sandwiches at 7-Eleven. Well, Mr. Lopez, if you get real nostalgic about it, I have, if you go back through my videos, all 700 of them. Nah, no problem. Like I said, check your email. You saw it. He's going to get back with me. I'm sure that they have them on their website, but I think it's just easier to deal with Jeremiah, the guy that owns the place, because he wants me to sharpen some knives for him anyway. If you really get nostalgic for Japan, I did vlogs of my last trip to Japan. I was there for about 3 weeks, maybe a month, and I did all the videos, put them up. So they're on here. They're on here somewhere in the 720 videos that I've got posted. My Japan vlogs are on there. So yeah, I got up early this morning, was working. I got up when my wife and kid got up, and she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, a couple things came in yesterday. I want to get them done. I've got them done. I'm gonna just pack them up when we get off of here. They'll be back on our way to the county fair. We're just going to drop those off at the post office." So yeah, I A few things done. I have one knife left that I need to sharpen before I go to the. I have not heard back from Tim, but Tim gets busy during the week. He usually responds back to me within. I usually get a response within an hour or so, but every once in a while, like the last time I sent him something, it took a couple days. So I have to fix this. Someone took and rounded the tip all the way off on this. It's a really awful edge, and then put a very, very. So somebody put a really shallow back bevel, and then put a micro bevel at the front. But the thing is, the micro bevel that they used is really coarse and just jagged. I've never understood. Let me ask you a question about the micro bevel thing, guys, because I'm not trying to say that you can't do it and it doesn't work, because it does work. That's the way Spyderco's Sharp Maker works, is you do your back bevel first, and then you steepen your thing, and then you just hit that very front. And that way you don't have to, but I don't personally like that style of sharpening. But if you want, you can't have both. Like, so somebody obviously wanted a mirror polish on this, but then the micro bevel on it is really coarse. And I'm like, why would you go to the trouble of polishing it just for aesthetics? Because that's not why my edges are shiny like that. My edges are shiny is because I'm taking it to a specific grit and the way the customer wants it. Last time I sharpened this was a 1,000 grit edge. You know, it just come out polished because of the strops and stuff I use and the types of stones. But if you wanted it really mirror polished, but you knew you were going to use it for cutting, why didn't you just, why are you looking at the aesthetics of that and then saying, well, I want it really polished, but then I want a 600 grit. I want a 600 grit micro bevel. Why not just make the whole thing 600 grit, and then you don't have that weirdness of doing two different angles, or you just do a convex at one grit all the way up? Is it just that people, because I don't do it for aesthetics. Like like I said, a lot of my knives are not sharpened anywhere near as high polished as what my customers get, because that's what they want. What's the thought behind that, behind the micro bevel like that? Is it because you want the aesthetics of it, and then you still just want some tooth to it? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, because I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying if that's one of the things that people look at, is the aesthetics of it. See, that's what I'm saying. This is obviously a very coarse micro bevel, and that's the other thing. I have to take all that off. So I'm gonna have to take a lot of material off this knife. So your Skaha is frightening. Your Skaha is sharpened the same way as this. Well, there are some benefits of a mirror polished edge. I've talked about this before. It's a lot like the finish on this. You see how I told you that I cut a ton of cardboard, but you can't see a single mark on this finish. This finish is fairly polished, and therefore it's fairly frictionless. The benefit of that edge is if it still has a good bit of tooth, but it's polished and it's smoother, there's less friction because there's less for the abrasive to actually attach to. And if there's less for it to actually, if it's so smooth that it's allowing that material to slide off, it actually will stay sharp a little bit longer. Because even though there is friction, it's a smoother surface, and the abrasive can't really bite into it as much. That's why if you have a knife that has a blasted finish on the blade and you're cutting cardboard, you're gonna see all those streaks going up the blade. This does not have any, like, you can't see any marks on it. And like I said, I cut cardboard with Matt for like an hour with it. I had to strop this on the cardboard multiple times to bring the edge up, and had to take the adhesive off the blade. It cut the entire time. And like I said, here, let's turn this around and I'll show you the edge or the blade. You can't see, even on points like here where you would think you would see the wear. Yeah, and so the finer your edge is, but the takeaway too though is if you go real high in grit, am I losing? Does it still bite? Yeah, the stuff that I send out even at 10,000 grit still bites, because I'm not burnishing the edge off. I'm using I'm basically using an abrasive all the way up to 30,000 grit that is harder than the steel. I'm using diamond. In my strops, if I was using something like I've said it before, chromium, the chromium oxide that I have on the leather, that's just to knock the initial burr off or maybe clean out some of the spots in the pores. That's not harder. And so what happens is your abrasive, instead of having sharp angles where it cuts the steel, it gets soft, so it rounds over, and then instead of getting you clean lines, what you're getting is it rounds things off, and so your microserrations at the edge. But I'm throwing a lot of shit in this all at once. Round over, and so it looks shiny. It might feel sharp, but it doesn't have any bite because those little microserrations that act like the saw teeth are now burnished over. There we go. So, you know, like I said, I've got there's some fishermen that I sharpen knives for. I haven't done it for a while for them, but their stuff doesn't even make it to 1,000 grit. 600, 650 is just about perfect for them. They want it because they're cutting fucking fishing line and frozen bait, nylon line, and you want something that's got a lot of tooth to it because those polypropylene and nylon lines that they use on ships, super slick, like hard to cut. You can't cut some of that like blue rope if you don't get it just right. You're not cutting it. Like you're not going to drag a knife across it and make a cut. It's so wear resistant, and it is hard on an edge. But for those guys, they're cutting some of it that's like that. They want their shit real toothy so they can cut that shit. So, like I said, there's limitations. This edge would not be something I would want to try and cut a bunch of that nylon line with because this edge just wouldn't do it. It's too slick. The microserrations are too tight. For a lot of everyday tasks, this, like I said, is at 1,000 grit. This is really toothy, grabby, bitey, fucking cuts anything you want. That's why I keep this one like that. This is a fucking work knife. 100%. This one is going to be the same thing because this one that gets used a lot. This is probably going to be my personal steak knife from now on. So, you know, and that's why I like to ask customers. Like, I'll get customers that will tell me they want something as far as like a certain grit, and I ask them, "What are you going to do with the knife?" A lot of you guys can attest when you know, if you don't know exactly what you want, you're asking me, "Well, what do you recommend?" And I was like, "Well, if it's like an EDC, you want to stay to the lower. You know, I can still make it look pretty." But then like this, at the lower grit, it's still polished up nice, but it's got a lot of bite to it. A lot more than, say, a 10,000 grit edge. This is 1,000. So is the 10,000 grit edge less sharp? No. Yes, it was, and then it was the one that was the replacement for the one that got stolen, and then it never made it, and I lost contact with that guy. This was his replacement for his swordfish, and my Skaha was supposed to be replaced by an individual, and it never materialized. But not you, Dwayne, not you. So my Skaha got stolen, and then there was supposed to be a replacement from an individual, and then that never happened. And so he lost his Bestech swordfish, his fox tur, and I lost my Skaha that I had only had for a matter of weeks, which is why I'm real hesitant, like sending stuff to other YouTubers, because that's the only time I've ever had things stolen from me, was sending it to another YouTuber. And so, and then like I said, I haven't heard from the guy, so this is going to be my personal folding steak knife. I'll just keep it in the drawer. So that's kind of sad. I really felt bad because that guy really liked that fox. And I had put work into it to get it the way he wanted it. And then I lost the Skaha. I liked my Skaha. That was a gift from Dwayne. Dwayne Smotherman bought me a Skaha as a gift. Oops. Which is why now gift knives don't ever go in the mail. No, it was not EDC with Aaron. Was it? I don't remember. I haven't talked to that guy in so long. It might have been EDC with Aaron. I don't remember who. That's been a year ago now. And so I tried to get somebody to replace. I tried to get everybody to donate on the channel, to donate to get him a new Fox Tour, or if somebody wanted to get one for him and get it sent to him. No one ever rogered up. And then, like I said, I talked to him a couple times. I know he had some deal with the job he was working at, or the place he was working, and then I just never heard from him again. And then I loaned it to Metal Effort, Nehemiah at Metal Effort. So if you saw this on his channel, it was this one. I got it. I found it on Massdrop when they had it on Massdrop. So I was gonna carry it because I wanted to do a video about like size and what's too much for EDC, because this knife is about a ½ inch longer than the Sebenza, and the Sebenza is just about my limit for what I would really want to carry size-wise. And it's just, it feels, that extra little bit just feels like too much blade. But I think a lot of that's because I've been carrying smaller knives. I carry my NTAC all the time. It's always in my pocket. I carry this, it's about my length limit. I've come to a conclusion, that's about the length I would want to carry. But that's what I'm saying, the Mordax is not, I don't think, as big as, see? It's a smaller blade, it's a shorter blade. I'm talking length. Overall length and everything, it's actually smaller than the Sebenza. I think my Riat, the WE601 is up there too with big, longer. This one's actually smaller than the Sebenza, length-wise, blade length. Because then it starts, length, not girth. This has got them all beat on girth. This is a fucking beast. Oh my God, I have to sharpen this last time. It's so sharp. It's not about length for me. It ain't, because I might not be able to hit the bottom of a soup can, but I can hit the sides of a fucking tuna can. Think about that one. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons that this doesn't carry it as much. Yeah, I've gotten, because this is along the same dimensions. This is a little bit, I don't know, it just feels unwieldy when you get like a certain point. You get to a certain point and then anything a little bit more than that is just, it feels awkward. Sounds like my first sexual experience. Yeah, I was alone. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. But no, this is almost more than I wanted. What? This one, my WE601, they're way different. There's a lot of differences between these two. I guess they are kind of similar. The Swordfish and the 601, they are rather similar in design, but I mean, there's some definite big differences between these two. They are pretty similar. This is one that I'll never get rid of, my 601. Especially now that I found out from Joe, CEO, they don't make this knife anymore. This is a discontinued model. Yeah, they're pretty, that's the thing. There's so many knives that are so similar. Like, go look, there are so many knives that share this same profile. Nick Shabazz said it best. Like, man, I can't wait until all the designs are used up. I can't wait till all the designs are used up so we can stop hearing this shit of like, that's too similar to my knife. Well, you know, there's only so many knives. There's only so many knife designs out there. I got news for you. I got Matt's Hornet here. This looks pretty similar to another knife that's coming out that's a folding knife. Well, here's the thing. I've never met this guy, never saw that knife. That guy's been working on that knife for years, and I've had this design out as a fixed blade for a while. The Vox, I like the giant mouse stuff. The one that I had, I wound up giving it away because I didn't need it. It was just something I would never carry. I had the Iona, and it was a decent knife. Matt finally got a chip in this. They are, but the thing is, the two designs are completely organically, like, I made my knife, he made his knife. I've been working on mine for a couple years. He's been working on his for a couple years. Never met this person, never seen any pictures of it. And then there's a lot of people that are saying that they're so similar, and I'm like, they might be, because that's a pretty fucking standard blade shape. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. That's just a pretty standard blade shape. There's so many knives in my case I could pull out and say that they look so similar. But the fact is, it's not. And yes, WE is making both. So I have two of my, I stay pretty consistent. I try to stay pretty consistent. I put the holes way up on this one further. So the handles are a lot different, but still pretty consistent. But yeah, my grinds are pretty consistent. These things look, yeah, okay. I've never really gotten a chance to put two of them side by side like that. So this is going off for sheath today. This is going off for sheath today. This is going off for sheath today, and so is Nico's. If I can get them to the post office. Guys, if you need a fixed blade sheath, Matt at Armitage Carry, that's the way to go. It really is. Like I've thought about, like, because it's sometimes it's a pain, like sending to Florida. There's other places that are quicker, cheaper, not necessarily quicker, but definitely cheaper. And so I've looked at them, and now that I've had some of them in hand, I've had customers, I'm like, hey, where'd you get the sheath? Because I'm just feeling it out, you know? Because I know I like Matt's work, but the fact is, that doesn't mean that there's not other options. And so, well, it went out yesterday, Dwayne. It went out yesterday before I ran a bunch of other errands and stuff and did the sharpening and stuff. So, I mean, yesterday I got everything done early, and then I finished up today too. But, you know, you always are looking, maybe there is, but I get all these other sheaths, these people that have recommended it, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but like one of the ones that's here, I've had a couple other knife makers say, oh yeah, that's who I use. They do great work. And I'm like, get it in hand, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. It's nowhere near as nice as stuff Matt at Armitage Carry is going with. So I'm like, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Matt's gonna be doing all my sheaths. I gotta get a hold of this guy and ask him about the last payment on those knives. Charles Anderson, not Sweden, right? This is not the Swede. Nothing much. I need to check this thing out. I haven't taken this thing apart in a while. I need to get it apart and make sure that there's not a bunch of gunk and shit down in it. Feels good, but so that's what I thought. You're my American Charles Anderson. Dude, fruit flies are so bad right now. Like, even if we don't have fruit, like we have bananas, it makes it even worse. This is my Springfield XDS, little compact 45. I'm just checking because it's all good All good military guys that ever worked weapons will tell you you always want to check for clean guns. Especially something that gets put in a pocket and carried around a lot. Yep, should be clean. So, the ramp on this, guys, I did not polish that. That was not me. That came that way. I've never had. This gun will feed anything. With that ramp, that polish, there is nothing that's gonna fight. It garbage wolf ammo at the range, high-end ammo. It doesn't care. It eats it all. Nice and good. Nice, good, clean. Roger. So. Okay, cool. We're good. Anyway, sorry guys, didn't mean to. Yeah, that's right. You did send me something yesterday, Dwayne, saying that it was your 27th anniversary. Like it was right after midnight. So congratulations, happy anniversary. The wife and I's anniversary was March made 18. Yeah, March made 18. That woman's been with me for 18 years, and she hasn't killed me yet. $10 years? You guys have been together for 10? That doesn't seem possible. Dude, that's the thing. When you start, guys, because I know I have a lot of younger subscribers too. When you guys been married for a while, like I said, me and wife, we've been married for 18 years. It turns into a game where you both wake up and you try to see who can remember it first. Because whoever forgot the longest, it's not that it's not that you both didn't forget. It's who remembered first. That's the game. And whoever forgot longer is the one that suffers. And so usually you're just like, it's just another fucking day. I got any marriage advice for you guys, you youngins? Yes, the best advice I can give you. It's the advice my father gave me the day before I got married when I talked to him on the phone. He said, boy, you can be right or you can be happy, but you sure as fuck ain't gonna be both. That's, yeah, it's fucking, hey, stop it. Yep, you can be right or you can be happy. Pick one, because you sure as fuck can't be both. No, I couldn't imagine what my life would be like if I hadn't gotten married. Definitely happier. Definitely happier married than I was not married. Not for the first year though. I decided I want to be right for like the first year and a half or so. And then I went to Iraq for a while, and I came back and I tried to be right again, and I realized I was like, fuck this. I'd rather be happy. Because guess what? Happy. Guess what? Because there's beer and things that show up in your refrigerator that you didn't ask for when you're on the happy side of the street. You know what's not on the happy side of the street? Pussy. There's no pussy in Wrightsville. Like if you're on the unhappy side, like you choose to be right, pussy's on the other side of the street. You need to get back over to being happy. Because if you're right all the time, you're gonna go through a lot of Astroglide and tissues because you ain't gonna be happy. She will nail the fucking windows shut at the pussy shop. That's what'll happen. But it's true. It's true. Every once in a while, I get a wild hair at my ass, and I decide to be right, and I'm like, "Fuck! I'm glad that couch is comfortable." Because the thing is, too, like your kids, as you get older and you have kids, once you're right, and there's no happy for anyone. I'm not saying you're the only one that suffers. Like if you decide to be right, it's if you decide to be right, it's miserable for everyone. My daughter will be like, "Dad, why is she upset?" I was like, "She's not mad at you, baby. She's mad at me." She's like, "Can you make her stop? Why is she so angry?" I'm like, "She's mad at me. She's not mad at you. She's mad at me." She's like, "I don't think she cares." I don't think she cares. All right, baby, I'll try and go apologize. My friends say that. I have friends that say that. I got single friends that say that. But then they see like me and my wife and a kid and how we interact. Like we'll be somewhere or at a friend's house and it's me, the wife, and a kid, and they see how we interact and how we are. And you can just see it on their faces, like these single friends that are like, "Man, look how happy they are." So, yeah, there's a lot of people that think they're real happy without a family. I thought I was happy, and then I got married, and then I'm ecstatic now. Can't you tell? Can't you tell how happy I am? It's, I am overjoyed. I am fucking ecstatic. If I was any happier, I'd shit. Yeah, I mean, it just I didn't figure I'd be happy married. And there, no joke, was a fucking pool. There was a fucking pool. Okay, so that you guys know, like I would screw any chick. Like I was all about fucking just screwing as many chicks as possible. I had a girlfriend, didn't fucking care. I was still screwing around on her, and I met my wife. We went out a couple times, and I would, we'd fucking hook up and get together and fucking hang out and shit like that. And so I noticed that I would be with other chicks, and thinking to myself, I wonder what she's doing. And I was like, oh no, 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 don't, no, it got me. 26 years old, fucking 25 years old, fucking got me. We've been together for 20 years because we were together almost 2 years before we got married, a year and a half ish. And so I'm like, no, 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 I can't do this. And so I told her, I was like, look, I want to take a break. And I was like, I gotta get my head straight. And I was hanging out with some other chick. I was fucking go to her place all the time and shit like that. And then one day I was just like, I can't fucking do this. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, it's over. I gotta go. And I fucking called my wife and I was like, look, I'm so sorry. And I apologized and I got her and I told her, I was like, I want to get married. I want to marry you. Like when this is what I'm thinking, like all the time, then I can't ignore the fact that all I think about is you. And we were talking about it. Had it not been for the fact that I met that other chick, we probably wouldn't have gotten married because I met that other chick and I wanted to take some time off and be separate because that's the universal guy thing. I want to take a break, which means I want to fuck somebody else for a while. And that whole time I was just miserable. I was miserable. All I was thinking of was her. And so I was like, fuck, I gotta do this. And so, yeah, we got married 18 years ago. March 3rd was 18 years. Was it? No. November 28th will be 18 years. Because we got the paperwork married in November, and then come March was when we had our actual wedding, which is when we celebrate. So actually, technically, we got married November 28th. This year, November 28th will be 18 years. Our wedding was 17 years ago. It's confusing. We have two anniversaries. What was that? I damn almost. Been dating your 1991. What are you talking about, 1991? 2001, I got married. 2001, we got married, not 1991. 2001 would be 30, damn near 30 years, 28 years. I was 25, so that would have been, I was 24 or 25 when I met my wife. I'm 45 now. So we got married after about a year and a half. And then the wedding was just shortly after that. So November, December, January, February, March. He was house trained and laughed at all your jokes. So dude, I Dutch oven the wife so many times that when she hears me move the blankets, every once in a while she'll still. I haven't done it in so long, but I used to do it so often that, like, when we were first fucking living together, and we had this little bed. I had, like, it wasn't even a queen; it was a double. I mean, me, her, and this fucking big ass German Shepherd all in the same bed, and I would fart, and pull the blankets up over her head. It got to the point where she knew it was coming. Like, if there was any movement of the blankets in her dead away sleep, she would wake the fuck up and just stand next to the bed. What doing? What doing? I was like, what? I'm fucking rolling over. Jesus Christ. I had a German Shepherd in my back and I'm fucking moving. And she's like, okay, you don't fart? I was like, no, I didn't fart. I don't believe you. I was like, good call. Good call. You probably shouldn't. I would Dutch oven her fucking so much. Like, still. Like, I rolled over the other night and she jumped out of bed and she's looking at me. I was like, when was the last time I fucking did that shit? No, because I don't get new knives anymore. I broke myself of that habit. It was called starting a business and realized that I had to fucking money for anything else. I broke myself of that want a new knife habit. You have to look at, like, if I buy that knife, we don't have milk this month. That's a good way to break yourself of that. Because starting a business, it's fucking, there's no money in it. She did call. She called mom the one time to tell mom that she was going to kill me. The biggest expense I've made lately was I got a new Apple Watch because my other one just didn't work, and I realized how much I did rely on this thing as a tool. The Apple Watch is really, like, there's so many things you can do with it that sound lame and simple and things like that. But the fact is, like, I use this constantly. I set timers. I find my watch. I make calls from it. I read text, and it's just that nice thing of not being able to not have to pull out my phone, unlock my phone, probably wipe my hands off real good because I'm doing shit at the shop and I'm grubby and dirty. I don't want to get fucking metal filings and shit all over or in my phone, and so I can just look and see what came up. And I just wipe my thumb off and roll the thing, and I can scroll down through whatever message and things like that. I can't Dutch oven myself. I wear a CPAP mask, so it's like having fucking forced air breathing. I can pull the blankets. You know when you're... All right, last thing I'm gonna say. You remember when you were a kid and you loved to just pull the blankets over your head and you try to sleep like that because it was so comfortable and you're like all in a cocoon? But then you're like, oh, I can't breathe, no oxygen, and you have to pull out. I can do that now because I have fucking, it's like having a snorkel. I have forced air coming in from my CPAP from over my head into this mask. I can pull the blankets clear up over my head, just fucking curl up. It's fucking great. It is actually pretty good. I can't sleep without it now. Like, if I lay down and I don't feel sleepy, if I put the mask on, I'm like, it's a remote. It's like a psychological trigger. I put that mask on, that machine kicks on, and I'm like, I can't keep my eyes open. And I was like, yep, I have to have it to sleep. Yeah, training myself. It turned into a psychological trigger. If I am not sleepy, I put that mask on and I will be sleepy. And I'm just like, the second I put the mask on and it kicks on and I get that constant flow of air, I'm like, can't keep my eyes open, gotta go to sleep, it's bedtime. So, even when I take a nap, if I want to take a nap, I got to wear that mask. I have to. I just don't get any restful sleep. So, all right, guys, it's been an hour. We have fucking successfully goofed off for an entire fucking hour. But that's okay, because I got up at like 4:30 and started working. So, I don't, but I just always wondered about that for single people. So, do you know anyone on the Nimitz? I don't know anyone on the Nimitz. Not anymore. What's wrong with Mom's car? I didn't hear about this. What's up with Mom's car? What's wrong now? Here's the, I don't, there's, most of the people I know are, it might just be battery. You guys have had some weird weather. It's hard on batteries. When it was real cold. Yeah, alternator's easy. Oh, it's full battery. Okay. If it's full battery, then it's either fuel pump, because there's three things it's not getting. It's either not getting fuel, it's not getting spark, or if it's not getting fucking air. I mean, those are the three things you got to have. So it could be the starter, and how the only way you'd notice is if you take a spark plug wire off, stick a screwdriver in it, touch into the fucking to the frame, and have somebody turn the key and see if you see a spark. Just clicks when you turn the key. That sounds like a starter. If it's got a full battery, then it's either a fuel pump, or if it's just clicking, it's a starter. If it's just tick, 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 that's a starter. That means that it's not completely engaging. So it's not completely engaging. The flywheel's not completely engaged. It's tick, 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 tick. So the solenoid's probably gone bad. You used to be able to hot stick them and make it start regardless, whether the solenoid was good or bad. But now they use bayonet lugs. Now they use these bayonet plugs, and you can't get across the two terminals on the starter. You can't hot stick a car anymore. That Chrysler of mine, I started that thing with a screwdriver for the better part of a year. I would climb up under it and do it, and then it just quit working completely and sat in the backyard until Dad and I got a new solenoid put in it. Yeah, remember when the LeBaron sat in the back and I would hot stick it and then it stopped working? Like I couldn't get it started behind Mike Dean's and had to push it clear across into the yard. It was because the starter went bad. Or not starter, the solenoid went bad. Because you used to be able to replace all kinds of shit on cars. You can't do it anymore. So Dad and I figured out what was wrong with it, and then got it replaced. It was just a new solenoid on the starter solenoid, but you can't do it anymore because they've made stuff so difficult to work on. That fucking thing, I never had you in it when I got the car up to fucking high speeds. Like, that thing felt weird at fucking high speeds. Like you got that thing up above 100 and it started feeling weird until I got the suspension fixed. It was pretty bad. That thing was it's like driving a waterbed. Oh! So, all right, guys, I'm off of here. Let me know what's up with Mom's car, sis. I will probably shoot video at the county fair, because the county fair is always cool. I got to start getting stuff packed up so that we can go. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys that have been watching the kids video. I actually did have something happen yesterday. I put it up in an Instagram feed. I think some of you already saw it. I had to file a police report again about this online harassment. Like it's getting to the point where I'm like, I can't fucking ignore this anymore. It's too much. And so gave them a bunch of email addresses and emails and stuff that I've been getting. And so they're gonna have a fucking police case. I didn't figure I'd ever have to fucking do this shit, but I had to fucking make a police report for stuff, because the flip side of it is if it starts affecting my daughter's emotional, so she's like worried and things like that about this. And I'm like, I can't have that. So we're gonna go through the proper channels. So it's just the way it is, guys, because I'm a grown up. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. 64 minutes. I will get this done. I'll probably keep you guys in the loop about what's going on. Like I said, if you're interested in that knife that Nico is selling, I will be putting it up on Instagram this morning. Now that I've got all my other stuff done and I got it cleaned up, I just haven't had a chance to put it up or put it on the counter. and get some good pictures of it. So you, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day, and I'll catch you later.